Something extraordinary happened inside the British royal family this week. Something so unexpected, so visually stunning, and so symbolically charged that royal watchers around the world were left speechless. It began quietly, almost unannounced, during a glittering state event where Princess Anne stepped forward wearing a tiara that sparkled with a kind of sharp electric confidence rarely seen in public displays of royal jewelry. It was a moment of elegance, of authority, of history. But no one knew what was coming next. Because just 24 hours later, Princess Anne did something no senior royal woman has done in recent memory. She wore a second tiara, a completely different one, another masterpiece from the royal vault. 2 tiaras, 2 days, one message, and the world is still trying to figure out what it means. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. For a royal family built on symbolism, Princess Anne's 2-tiara appearance was not just a fashion choice. It was a statement, a bold one, a calculated one, and perhaps even a warning. Across social media, royal forums, and international press coverage, from Town & Country to Hello Magazine, commentators described the moment as unprecedented, powerful, and deeply intentional. Anne, the Princess Royal, the woman long regarded as the hardest-working member of the monarchy, had stepped into a spotlight she rarely demands, but always commands. And for 48 glittering hours, the world saw something different. A woman who, at 75 years old, outshone everyone in the room. Quite literally. The first tiara, worn during a major state banquet, was the diamond festoon tiara. Reporters detailed its dazzling cascade of diamonds, describing the way its carefully arranged stones framed Anne's face with regal precision. She appeared calm, composed, disciplined, the embodiment of dignity. The kind of royal presence that can silence a room without a word. The tiara itself, rarely seen in recent years, carries decades of royal history. Its brilliant lines, its almost architectural design speak to the heritage Anne has carried since birth. But what caught the attention of royal analysts was not the tiara alone. It was the fact that Anne chose to wear it now, in a moment when the monarchy faces immense pressure, scrutiny, and questions about its stability. A moment where every gesture matters. A moment where the appearance of strength, visual, symbolic, undeniable, is essential. But then came the second tiara, and that changed everything. The following night, Anne stepped out wearing an entirely different tiara, the aquamarine pine flower tiara, a crown of cool blue stones that radiated sophistication and captured the light with icy brilliance. It was the contrast that captivated people, from the harsh, fierce sparkle of white diamonds to the serene, queenly glow of pale blue aquamarine. 2 distinct moods, 2 separate messages, 2 appearances that felt almost choreographed, and observers immediately began asking the same question: why? Royal commentators rushed to interpret the moment. Some suggested a practical reason, simply matching her jewelry to her gowns. Others proposed that Anne was showcasing the depth of the royal collection. But the dominant interpretation, expressed across several media outlets and amplified by experts, was this: Anne was sending a signal of continuity, a reminder of history, a subtle yet unmistakable assertion of royal power at a time when the family's unity and resilience are under intense public scrutiny. Because context matters. The monarchy is currently navigating one of the most complicated periods in recent memory. King Charles continues reshaping the institution under his slimmed-down vision. Prince William is carefully balancing public pressure, future responsibility, and family fractures. Other senior royals face controversies, health speculation, or reduced public roles. Against this backdrop, Anne, who has never sought attention, suddenly became the most talked about royal of the week. The Princess Royal, famous for her no-nonsense attitude and unwavering loyalty, made a statement using the oldest language the monarchy has: jewelry. In royal tradition, tiaras are never worn casually. They convey rank, history, relationship, and intention. They mark the wearer as someone of significance. They announce presence. And Anne, a woman whose duty has defined her life, wore not one but two symbols of authority in the span of 2 days. Experts quoted in press coverage highlighted the rarity of this double display. Senior royal women sometimes wear tiaras for consecutive events, but showcasing two entirely different tiaras within 48 hours is extremely unusual, especially for Anne, who is known for her consistency and discipline. So the question intensified: what was she communicating? Some analysts proposed that Anne was reinforcing the monarchy's female strength. Others saw the move as a deliberate visual anchor, connecting the past to the present by displaying pieces tied to important royal milestones. The diamond festoon tiara reflects decades of tradition, while the aquamarine pine flower tiara, with its cooler tones and modern silhouette, symbolizes adaptability. Together, the message becomes clear: the monarchy is rooted in history, but not frozen in time. There is another interpretation, one gaining traction among royal watchers and commentators alike. Princess Anne has always embodied the monarchy's most revered qualities: discipline, relentless duty, and an indifference to celebrity culture. Wearing two tiaras in 2 days may have been her way of stepping forward, reminding the world that while others dominate headlines through scandal or speculation, she represents the institution at its most grounded, its most reliable, its most enduring. In a moment where the royal family is often defined by chaos, Anne became the embodiment of steadiness. It is essential to separate what is confirmed from what is speculative. What is confirmed: Princess Anne wore 2 different tiaras at 2 different state events within 24 hours. Photographs, press reports, and detailed descriptions of each piece verify this. Coverage from Town and Country magazine and royal correspondence highlight the rarity of such a double display. What is speculative is the deeper reasoning behind her choice. The palace has made no statement. Anne herself is famous for offering no commentary on symbolism or fashion decisions. All interpretations about her intent come from analysts, commentators, and observers, not from official royal channels. Still, these interpretations matter. The monarchy operates through perception, through imagery, through carefully managed displays of continuity. In the absence of verbal explanations, the visual becomes the message. And Anne's message reverberated across the world. Observers also noted the timing. The double tiara moment unfolded during a period when multiple senior royals faced limitations or absences. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has reduced engagements while recovering her health. King Charles has scaled back on certain duties. Prince William has shouldered heavier responsibilities. Prince Edward and Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, maintain steady but limited visibility. And Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, although increasingly appreciated for their composure, are not working royals. Against this landscape, Anne suddenly became the unexpected star of royal representation.
Her tiaras were not just jewelry, they were armor. They were heritage placed boldly on display. They were the silent assertion of a woman who has weathered royal storms for decades and remains unshaken. In a monarchy built on tradition, nothing sends a message quite like centuries-old diamonds sparkling under state dinner lights. As reporters analyzed the photographs, one detail drew particular praise: Anne's confidence. She did not merely wear the tiaras, she inhabited them. She carried them with an ease that spoke not of glamour, but of responsibility. On both nights, her posture, her expression, her controlled presence suggested a woman who knows exactly who she is and what she represents. The contrast with younger generations, who often balance royal duties with private interests, public scrutiny, or modern pressures, made Anne's display even more striking. But the story does not end with symbolism. There is also an emotional layer. Anne has lived her entire life in the service of the crown. She has navigated crises, transitions, loss, and reinvention. She has represented the monarchy through eras that transformed Britain and the world. She has done so with stoic dignity. And in these two tiara moments, observers saw not only power, but pride. It was as if she was saying, "This is who we are. This is what I stand for, and I am still here." In the days after the photographs were published, social media erupted with admiration. Longtime royal followers called the display iconic, majestic, and queen-like. Younger viewers, less familiar with the nuances of royal history, were captivated by the sheer glamour of the moment. But beneath the excitement, one sentiment dominated: respect. Respect for Anne's long-standing commitment. Respect for her refusal to be overshadowed by drama. Respect for her ability to command global attention without uttering a single word. The monarchy relies on figures like Anne more than ever. In an era where royal headlines often focus on controversy, speculation, or division, her presence is a stabilizing force. She bridges generations. She embodies duty. And she symbolizes continuity in a family where continuity itself is the foundation of its existence. The double tiara moment may have lasted only 48 hours, but its impact will echo far longer. It reminded the world why Princess Anne remains one of the most respected members of the royal family. It highlighted the subtle yet powerful role she plays within the institution, and it demonstrated that even in her mid-70s, she can outshine, quite literally, every other royal on the stage. If the monarchy is entering a new chapter, then Anne has just written one of its most unforgettable lines.